It is a Tuesday morning. Your alarm goes off at 6:14. You hit snooze, not because you are tired, because the moment you open your eyes, the list starts running. The credit card due Thursday, the savings account that has not moved in 3 months, the investment you have been meaning to set up since January. January was 8 months ago. You get up, make coffee, open your phone, check your balance, close your phone, tell yourself today will be different. It will not be different. And here is what nobody in personal finance will tell you. The reason you are not saving money or building wealth has nothing to do with discipline. It is not about budgeting harder or trying more. It is something your brain is doing automatically, without your permission, every single day. That thing has a name, and the ordinary people who built $100,000, not the ones with side hustles, not the ones on YouTube, figured out how to stop it, not with willpower, not with a complicated strategy, with habits so boring. Their friends thought they were doing nothing. It is a Sunday evening. You are sitting at your kitchen table with a coffee going cold beside you, and a spreadsheet open on your laptop. You have been here for 2 hours. You have researched 6 different investment strategies. You have watched 4 YouTube videos about index funds. You have a notes document with 17 different approaches to saving more money this year. And at the end of all of it, you have done nothing. The account is the same. The balance is the same. The habits are the same. Next Sunday, you will probably do this again. It is not laziness. It is not lack of discipline. It is that your brain is running a program that was designed for a world where complexity signals importance, where effort signals value, where a solution that takes 2 hours of research feels more legitimate than one that takes 2 minutes to set up. Your brain is allergic to simple, and that allergy is the single most expensive thing in your financial life. In 2007, researchers at Ben-Gurion University of the Negev published a study in the Journal of Economic Psychology examining goalkeeper behavior during penalty kicks. What they found was counterintuitive, measurable, and true. Goalkeepers who stay in the center of the goal stop more penalties than goalkeepers who dive left or right. The math is clear. Stay still. You stop more shots. But goalkeepers dive on almost every penalty because diving looks like effort. Staying still looks like giving up. Even when staying still is the correct move, the brain cannot tolerate the appearance of inaction. Psychologists call this action bias, the compulsion to do something rather than nothing, even when nothing produces better outcomes. Your financial life is a penalty kick. Every week the ball is coming. The correct move, for most people, in most situations, across most of their financial life, is to stay in the center, automate the savings, invest consistently into a simple index fund. Do not touch it. Do not watch it. Do not research alternatives. Stay still. But the brain dives every Sunday evening into research and complexity and new strategies and 17 approaches. And nothing changed. The diving feels like effort. The staying still feels like failure. That inversion, where the brain mistakes complexity for competence and simplicity for laziness, is costing you more money than almost any other force in your financial life. Let me show you exactly how much. Dalbar, a financial research firm that has tracked investor behavior for over 30 years, measured the gap between what a simple index fund returns versus what the average active investor actually earns. The gap is 4.6% annually. Not because index funds are magic, because the average investor keeps diving, keeps switching strategies, keeps researching, keeps optimizing, keeps doing the Sunday evening spreadsheet instead of the 2-minute automated transfer. $200 a month, 4.6% less, every year, 30 years. That is $340,000. $340,000. Not the difference between investing and not investing. The difference between boring automated consistency and active complicated involvement. Let that sit. I want to tell you about someone. Her name is Claire. Claire is 37. Nurse. 3 12-hour shifts a week. Not a finance person. Does not have time to be a finance person. In 2019, she sat down with a financial advisor for 1 hour. The advisor gave her 3 instructions. Automate your savings the day you get paid. Invest consistently into a low-cost index fund every month. Do not look at it more than once per quarter. That was it. Claire did not find this satisfying. It felt too simple. She had gone in expecting a plan, something with steps and structure and complexity that matched the size of the problem she was trying to solve. She came out with 3 sentences. She almost did not do it. But she did. She set up the automation the following Tuesday. $250 to savings, $150 to her index fund, $400 total, automated, the day her paycheck cleared. She did not think about it again. 4 years later, Claire has just over $24,000 across her savings and investment accounts. Not a life-changing number on its own. But here is what Claire understands that most people do not. She projected it forward. At the same rate, $400 a month, same automation, same index fund, no changes. In 12 years, she will have just under $119,000. In 20 years, she will have $344,000. From $400 a month. From 3 sentences. From doing nothing except the boring thing. Consistently. She did not get a raise. She did not start a side hustle. She did not find a better strategy. She stayed in the center of the goal. When her colleagues talked about cryptocurrency, she stayed in the center. When the market dropped 30% in 2020, she stayed in the center. When interest rates rose and everyone was talking about high-yield savings accounts, she added one automated transfer and stayed in the center. Every time the ball came, she did not dive, not because she was disciplined, because the automation had already made the decision before the ball arrived. If Claire's story just made something click for you, if you have been the person on the Sunday evening with the cold coffee and the spreadsheet, you are in the right place. I post 1 video a week. Just this. No side hustle content, no get rich quick, just the boring stuff that actually compounds. Hit subscribe if that is what you are looking for. Now back to the mechanism nobody talks about. The boring habit is not boring because it is easy. It is boring because it removes the decision entirely from the window where the brain wants to make it complicated. Your brain cannot talk you out of an automated transfer that already happened. It can spend 2 hours on Sunday evening building a spreadsheet. It cannot undo a Thursday morning automation. Research from Columbia University on decision fatigue shows that the more choices we face, the more our self-control depletes, and the more likely we are to default to inaction or impulse. Every time you manually decide to save money, you are burning willpower you could have bypassed entirely. The automation is not a saving strategy. It is a decision made in advance by a version of you who was not trying to be interesting. That version of you is worth $340,000, more than the version sitting at the kitchen table with a cold coffee and 17 approaches. So what does this actually look like in practice? 3 habits, not 10. 3. The first is the automation rule. Every time money enters your account, from your paycheck, from a bonus, from any source, a fixed percentage leaves automatically before you see it. Not after you budget. Not after you decide what is left. Before. The moment it arrives. Research from Harvard Business School on savings behavior found that employees who defaulted into automatic savings contributions saved dramatically more than those who had to opt in. Even when the opt-in process took less than 5 minutes, the barrier is not effort, it is the decision itself. The percentage does not need to be large to start. It needs to be automatic. 10% automated is worth more than 30% intended. Intended savings live in the window where action bias fires. Automated savings do not. Set it up once. Do not revisit it for 6 months. The brain will tell you to review it, optimize it, adjust it. That is action bias talking. The automation cannot be talked out of a decision it already made. The second is the boredom index. Before you make any financial change, switching investment platforms, adjusting your savings rate, exploring a new strategy. Ask yourself one question. Am I doing this because the math changed or because I am bored? If the math changed, your income changed, your goals changed, your time horizon changed, act. If you are bored, do nothing. The feeling of boredom with a working financial strategy is not a signal that the strategy needs to change. It is a signal that the strategy is working. Boredom is the tax you pay for compound interest. Pay it. The third is the quarterly permission. Once every 3 months, you are allowed to look, to review, to feel proud or concerned or curious. Once every 3 months, you can sit at the kitchen table with a coffee and a spreadsheet and examine everything. The other 11 weeks are protected. No research, no alternative strategies, no Sunday evening browser tabs, 1 hour per quarter. 11 weeks protected. Most people do the inverse. 11 hours of research per week, 1 hour of actual results per year. Claire does 1 hour per quarter, $344,000, waiting for her in 20 years. Not from complexity, from the protection of simplicity against a brain that finds simplicity intolerable. I want to come back to that Tuesday morning. Same alarm, same 6:14, same list starting to run the moment your eyes open. But this time, the automation already ran yesterday. The index fund contribution already went in. The quarterly review is 6 weeks away. The list is shorter than it used to be. Not because the problems disappeared, because the most important decision was already made. Before the alarm, before the coffee, before the phone, and that feeling of waking up and knowing the boring thing is already running is not exciting. It is just compounding. Who are you when the alarm goes off? And you already knew what your money was doing? Because that person, the one who made the decision in advance, who protected the simplicity against 11 weeks of action bias, who stayed in the center of the goal, that person compounds too. This week, not next week, this week. Set up one automated transfer, just one, whatever you can afford. $20, $50. It does not matter. What matters is that it runs without you. And if this is the video that finally makes you do it, I want to know. Drop a comment below and tell me what you automated. I read every single one.